Aloha, friends and neighbors. This is Roland Frost. Raleigh to my friends. An astrologer living on the Kona coast of the Big Island. It's a shaky time that you're with. Yes, because of the next full moon coming up, which is at 1 degree of Taurus, and it's on the planet Uranus, which I've specialized in for the last 15 years. Everybody said Uranus is unpredictable, so I went after predicting it, and I have a huge success rate in earthquakes and hurricanes. That's what Uranus does. It comes up, it either does twirlies, and tornadoes and hurricanes, which knock out your power with them, the wind, or earthquakes, which come up suddenly and can also knock out your power. And that's how we track them, because you're going to lose that electrical thing. So this is the October 24th full moon is the one on Uranus. It's clear to me that it's a window between October 24th and goes through November 23rd of about a month, and there could be even 2 hurricanes, because I've got the first one real strong indicator, and looks like it's coming up from the south and going by the west side of Kauai. I'll show you. I have another indicator, which is a quarter moon on November 15th, which looks like it might even show up at my house, in which case you're probably going to miss some shows if I'm still around to do them. What else have I got here? A note that we're going to have some high winds at the end of next week. Oh, that's interesting, because Mercury is going to conjunct Jupiter. Wow. All right, here's your chart. Gee, I've been drawing these by hand for 1,142 weeks. I try to put a little character into them also. Like you'll see over here, here's Uranus. And the full moon is going to happen. So the sun is not happy. He's looking over here at this Uranus saying, oh, this guy is going to make trouble for people. But the fact that I found that Mercury here is moving up to hit Jupiter, which will expand Mercury, and Mercury is wind and things, that could be an indicator, that the window I've told you about may pop up very strong at the end of October. I wish I could pin it down further, but I haven't had time nor energy to try to do that. And it doesn't really matter, so long as you know that this is going to happen. It's happening. So here's the sun, and it's going through the last 4 degrees of Libra and going into Scorpio. As it moves into Scorpio, it makes that full moon on the 24th, right on Uranus, the master of shaking and the master of, worrying about your power and things. Now there is a trine to Saturn, which says you can take you can take different kinds of you can maybe ameliorate the damage a little bit by going over your place and putting things away that might fly around. And I think the most important thing is to protect your electronics and get big garbage bags to put over anything electrical, at least if you're near the coastline, because hurricanes blow salt water into the little tiny cracks in things. And we found out, I remember Anikia, the guy came around, the insurance adjuster, and, oh, your computer's working, your car, your TVs are working, that's good, your telephone. And he didn't put them on the list. And then a month or 2 later, the salt water corrodes them and they're gone. So protect your electronics. And, if you're going to lose power, especially like on Kauai, we learned that you had to count the number of poles between your house and the power plant. And that tells you a lot about how long it takes before they get power to your house again. And you know what it is trees fall on power lines. And that's a big deal. The other thing I learned is that your insurance, by and large, does not cover your car. Like, I got big trees in my yard, and one of the first things we have to do is move our vehicles and get them to a safe place where trees aren't going to fall on them. Well, there's the sun going from Libra into Scorpio, and Mercury moving up to hit Jupiter here. And we have full moons that they were squaring Saturn before, but the next full moon is on Uranus. So this gets you out of the depression and the worries about the judge. Here come the judge, Kavanaugh, oh boy. And put you into a little more scientific feeling. How much battery power you got? How long could your lights and electricity be out? Yeah, it's important stuff, huh? Now, there was a prior new moon on October 9th at 16 Libra here, squared Pluto. And Pluto stopped on October 1st and panicked everybody out. And, you know, that October 9th new moon squaring Pluto says it's going to be a panicky month from that time of the 9th of October to, you know, about the 8th of November. So that's a big, that narrows my window as far as I'm concerned. And I'm talking maybe the last week in October and the first week in November as being the most possible for your shakings and your twirlings to get at you. Well, we got the pattern of planets here, and we're going to run the moon around the edge. And in astrology, that's what gives you the mood of the times, is when the moon hits these various bodies. They're like actors on the stage. You want to learn astrology? Well, there's only 10 of these guys to learn, and they're easy. They're in your language. They're all over your culture. It's been forgotten. More shame to the age we live in, you know, to throw astrology out, the ancient science, the first science. But this Western American culture sure did it. I mean, there are a lot of people here that don't believe the science of global warming is real. Geez. You know, what are these? The low IQ people? No, the church people? No, I don't know who they are, but I know that they're not doing you any good. Well, the moon's going to run around the edge of this pattern, and as it makes contact with these different planets, you'll notice it in your world, inside you and outside you. For instance, if we're looking at now, usually people watch the show on Thursdays or Fridays. Well, here would be Thursday, or maybe for some of you it might be the 17th, Wednesday night. The moon's going to go by Mars, and when it does, you will get energized. You'll have a lot of energy, and it will be noticeable. Yeah, you can feel Martian-like. You could get kind of horny too, and could be a little selfish, could be a little violent. But I hope you use that time to get out and hurricane-proof your house a little bit. Yeah, and so there it is on Thursday and Wednesday night before this, on the 17th and 18th. Use that energy. Get out there and protect your goods and your stuff. On Thursday night, there's a nice trine to the sun. That's the 18th. And so you can kind of get your plan together. But Friday morning, here's a square to Jupiter. We're overdoing it, trying to do too much. Doesn't work very well when you try to do too much. You know, when I was a kid, I used to think the Orientals were silly for eating with chopsticks. And I got a degree in public health, and I saw all the choking from using a knife and a fork. You know, the Orientals are smart. They cut all their food to size. You don't have to cut it, so you don't choke on your food. And chopsticks are easy to clean. So the Orientals are a much smarter culture in the way of eating utensils. And it took me only 30 years to realize that. I particularly have respect for Chinese and the Chinese culture, which is very professional. Well, here's the sextile to Uranus. There's Friday morning about breakfast time. Hope you're listening. Go back and review the show. I hope it's on the internet. And think about what happens when suddenly you're on your own a little bit. Uranus is a weird character, you know. The glyph is two crescents of flesh opposing each other, tied together by the cross of matter over the circle of spirit. So this is like all the guys down at the shop, all different colors and religions. They don't talk to each other too much. But when the union agent comes along and says, come on, we need more safety and we need more money, it ties them together. And they start to unite and act together. Well, a hurricane does the same thing, and so does an earthquake. You'll get to know your neighbors, and you'll start working with people and find out that they're all just like you. The Mayans had a greeting. They said, "In la catch, I am another you." It's true. I am another you. Anyway, something to meditate on for your Friday morning, the 19th. The spirit part of you is the unchanging one. Same at age 7 as it is at 70. Exactly the same. Doesn't die. Goes on and reincarnates. Reincarnate is real. You've been fed a lot of BS from the various Abrahamic religions. The Islam and the Jewish and the Christian. They don't recognize reincarnation. Foolish people. Don't recognize astrology either. Not very good scientists. Science is Uranus. They're all full of Neptune. You can see the Neptune on Saturday. Neptune's a beautiful planet. You know, it has to do with religion and music and art and feeling and emotion. But we've had 2,000 years of the age of Pisces. That's Neptune. Privileged people have run our world. Whether they're priests, artists, doctor, musicians, look out. Half of them got their hand in your pants for money or sex. And we're learning that now. So be an enlightened person Friday morning with Uranus. That's important. Something's beeping at me. What is that? I better get going. Pause for a minute. Damn, I got loose plugs. The thing's beeping and going on and off. That's Uranus stuff. Well, anyway, Saturday, about the middle of the day, in the early afternoon, the moon's going by Neptune. There's some love around with the trine to Venus. Friday night's nice for you. And there's a lot of good talk and prayer going on for Saturday the 20th. And discovery the night of Saturday the 20th, when there's a nice sextile to Pluto. So altogether, pretty nice time Saturday. But don't mistake the dreamy quality of Neptune for being spiritually important. What's important now is Uranus, common sense and science, not religion. So, boo! Sunday, the 21st, the moon's still in Pisces. You'll still feel a lot of that Neptune sensitivity. Listen to music. Read Jesus. Jesus was trained in astrology. You know, he wasn't a big priest. He wandered around a homeless person. He was a Uranus person, an Aquarian. Sunday, the moon's still in Pisces. In the afternoon, there's a nice trine to Jupiter. Aha, now I see it clear. Monday, the moon shifts into Aries. Whole different feeling. Here's the old full moon squared Saturn. Gonna be depressed. Gotta listen to all Judge Kavanaugh's bull and feel old and cold and broke like me. Yes, think about donating to your astrologer. Otherwise, you may not see this program every week. And that's the truth. here's, even if you donate, I may go out of business. I'm on shaky ground. Anyway, Monday is depressive. It's slow. You better go to work early because it's going to be one of those mornings of Saturn. Yeah, rules, regulations, lines and signs all over the street. Ugh. That's the way I feel about it. You get through Monday, go to Tuesday, there's a nice sextile to Mars in the morning. Get out there and do some work on your property and your yard and be defensive. Fix some things, nail some stuff down, put some stuff away. Because on Tuesday, you're going to hit that new moon, which squared Pluto, and it's going to get panicky. Tuesday morning and in the middle of the day. Eek, a bug! Panicky. Yeah? So, Monday and Tuesday got lunations. Monday is depressive. Tuesday is panicky. And then on Wednesday, the moon shifts into Taurus. And we got a whole different feeling. This is the full moon time on Uranus. It's electric. In La Catch, I am another you. Common sense, science prevails. But this is the sun opposing Uranus. And so certain father figures may come out and say, oh, science isn't the whole world. Fools. The full moon goes off in the morning, and it involves Venus here too, which has gone back to the sun. So here's pretty girls and father figures, opposing science. Fools. It's a full moon. It's going to go on for a month, this attitude about it all. It's too bad. Shame to the age we live in, said Ben Franklin. Ben said at his time there was only 3 astrologers left in the U.S., him and 2 other guys. Shame to the age we live in. I was born on Ben Franklin's birthday. He and I, our charts are so alike. I think I'm a reincarnation of him, or he me. Anyway, here's Saturn. You get a trine. After you get electric enlightenment, Wednesday, there'll be a trine to Saturn. Practical stuff will come up. Use your science and do practical things. Thursday, the moon's still in Taurus. Not bad. There's a sextile to Neptune. People are a little dreamy. But you could be inspired too. Thursday afternoon, here's a square to Mars. And there's some anger. But you can control it. Once you get through the anger, ask yourself what you're protecting. Once you answer that, the anger goes away and there's constructive work, physical stuff to be done. And you'll find that out and do it Thursday night. Yeah, be decisive. Investigate. Late Thursday night, here's the opposition to Mercury, and it's hard to communicate. And early Friday morning, the opposition to Jupiter. That could be thunderstorms, overdoing it. Yeah, it goes through the afternoon of Friday while the moon's still in Taurus, and then it goes into Gemini, and it all calms down a little bit. On Saturday, the moon's in Gemini, and there's a square to Neptune, though. There's a lot of confusion and delusion here. So you could get lost Saturday in the middle of the day. You got to be a little careful, especially about liquids, huh? Yeah. And you're in the hurricane zone since this full moon on the 24th. So worrying about Neptune could be rain from the hurricane. If it is, go on out there and finish up your work. There's a nice trine to Saturn Saturday night. And do the physical stuff to protect things. That's what's important. On Sunday, the moon starts off in Gemini, then shifts into Cancer. And as soon as it shifts into Cancer in the afternoon of Sunday, it sextiles Uranus. And you can understand astrology and common sense. In La Catch, reincarnation all works. And you'll realize it. And it's worthwhile, because after that, Sunday night, here's the opposition to Saturn. All that old stuff, that tradition didn't work. Boo, why should there be a judge to judge everybody? No. Putting a man in black and white, in a black gown up on a bench to judge people, that's old-fashioned nonsense, my book, needs to be changed. Our justice system reeks of injustice. And you'll find that out. You'll realize that late Sunday night, here's the Trine to the Sun on the 28th. I hope you got through this weird, difficult time. It is a weird and difficult time.